There's no such thing as work-life balance. None!
Just fucking do it. Subscribe now. You got to understand, if I buy his business 100% seller finance, and I buy his business 100% seller finance, and I buy your business 100% seller finance, and then I go to a bank to finance it, it is not a refinance because you've never had a commercial lender in the deal. Does everybody understand that? So technically speaking, it's not a refinance. Thereby, the old myth, you've got to run the business 3 years, 3 months before you can come back for money is bullshit. Because you have never used commercial debt, as they say in Europe. You've only used seller finance debt. So he said while he was doing the deals, he was at the banks financing it. So they closed the next week on the refinance, and I think the deal he alluded to, he refinanced it for 200% or double what he paid. So then the question is, what you have to do, you don't have to do anything. One of the questions is, okay, what is my relationship, or how am I going to react vis-a-vis paying back the seller's note? Because you're going to have all the money plus 100%. So you could pay back 1, 2, 3 seller finance, 100%. And keep the overfinance for yourself and your directors, etc. So what do? Well, and we'll talk more about it later in the week, but you cannot have a prepayment penalty clause in your seller finance. Now, see, you're writing that down, because even the meatheads, YouTube, even the fucking morons here figured out that was important. So now, what are you going to do? Are you going to pay back the seller's finance notes? Depending on your agreements. And that's why, even though I say you can do a seller finance deal in a day or two, you got to do it properly, and the lawyers have to represent you properly. And you don't want to do a deal that the other side doesn't have a lawyer. Because then they can go to court, and they're very easily, you can own the business 3 fucking years. And a little old lady from Pasadena comes to court and say, he took advantage of me, he did this, he did that. Not sexually, but I mean, he took advantage of me. And the court can undo the transaction. So you want the other side to be represented. Even though they tell you, well, let your lawyer do it. No, you want their lawyer to sign off. Everybody understand that? It's really important, because I've seen deals undone, unfortunately, because they didn't listen to that. Because they were, see, if T. Boone Pickens told me about 35 years ago, God rest his soul, he just passed away too. Danny, if you want to do a bad deal, if you want to do a deal bad enough, you'll do a bad deal. And he's right, boy. When you're sucking on the tailpipe, and you got no money, and they repossessing your cars, and you're living in the basement of your mother, I mean, you get desperate. You think you're desperate now. No, that's more desperate. That's more desperate. And you can easily pull out money. But if you don't ask for seller finance, you won't get seller finance.